I know this energy's getting real intense, and I know I've been off social media a lot today because the meteors are still landing. We're still coming into the realm, and we're still coming into the body. But at the same time, there's two different experiences that are happening even within all of us, I guess what you would consider ancients, because it really is this merger that's happening. If you're like me, you've got a lot of vascular veins just going nuts. This is the twin union. It really is as if some of us that are pure source, that have finished bloodlines and cleared bloodlines, which I saw on TikTok that King Charles was dead. I'm praying that it's true. I also saw the Pope released basically a confession and even announced that Mary never died. I've also seen information coming out of London about the 3 illegitimate children of Charles, and they are trying to do a little bit of play with the masculine, of course, trying to say that there's 2 Jesuses, and gave a lot more information about the masculine that was conceived out of these 3. But I'm definitely linked to that Belmont one. I mean, that even happened in the story. Belmont came in, and I was talking about it today with the United flights that were grounded because United messed with us in 2020, and it all went down in California at the Belmont Hotel. And there's another link with that, with the St. Philip's House in October 2020 in New Orleans. So, and also in that last video that I talked about New Orleans and the 3, I mean, that I equated to Christ and the 2 that were on the cross that were the thieves. But I mean, was it the 3 illegitimate children of Charles? I'm not quite sure yet, but that is all happening right now. If you did not know, I wanted to come on and say all of this because it's really what we've all been waiting for. I also wanted to say that there's such a misconception with those of us who are true ancients and true source and blue flame source beings, and this whole magic thing. I believe that from the largest perception, it is that we knew magic, or that we were using it in some sense of or form. And I just want to state again that, at least from my crew that did the bloodline healings, and that, I mean, really went down to pure energetic, that was solving all these different murders even that had happened, which it's still coming out, and I don't even know how long it's going to take for all of them to hit, now that I'm understanding even and starting to see how the information that we gathered for the past 3 years is hitting the collective. But even today with BTK and the whole and 1976 murders that happened with the girls. I mean, that basically would be the same thing as Rex Humerman, and those girls were not just normal girls. I mean, they were bringing us in from the other side. They were trapping us here from other dimensions. I mean, it they weren't prostitutes, In 1976, it was really when it started, because the Rothschild spell at the end of in December 1972 is really what set up the mess that we are just now breaking apart. So, and remember that we are all one soul, and so it's also why our crew, had to walk through so many of these murders, and then on top of it, BlackRock wants to double down. And so, Burning Man, you went to BlackRock, man. I mean, United Airlines, you's involved. Delta Airlines, you's involved. Something interesting I saw today with Delta was that they had a flight and everybody got really bad diarrhea to the point that they had to ground. Well, AI clearing is diarrhea spells, and it happens just all at once. Not only that, I'd be interested to know where they were flying, because we saw this in, I guess it's 2019. It was Indiana, and basically right on top of Atlantis, and it was Indiana and Kentucky border, where there were energy gates set up that it's just like you'd walk up and there'd just be bird shit everywhere. And at first, and they had those weird fish. They had like a man-made pond with those silver fish that were all moving like one massive entity. And this was in the very beginning, when we were still working with the RH negatives, when we were putting back together the original bloodlines before we even had to blow them up again because of baby farming and the bullshit that, all y'all that fucked with us, just get ready. And I'm not even saying it as just be ready, because what I'm seeing is that y'all are fucked. And I just want everybody to realize that we ain't doing it. We're not over here plotting against you. We're not trying to figure out how to get you back. We're not doing shit. It's just happening. How dare you fuck with us when we're coming here to save the human race, and especially me. Especially me. So anybody that consciously threw some shit, you best come forward and make nice with me personally. And I'm talking about corporations as well. Ain't nobody getting out of this. There ain't nobody that came against the collective that used your airplanes, NASA, hotels. Shit, you might as well just hand over the keys. Like, what I'm seeing and how and it hadn't even started yet. It hadn't even started yet. We pulled an M35 Sun. Orion's way under M1. Everybody's seeing everything, and we haven't even started yet. So, to all those that came against us, and to those that got come against, just know that you will be vindicated in every way, but stay in your heart space and allow them to come in as well, because there ain't nothing down here that is can get through to the other dimension without being cleaned. And I mean, that's your money. That is your banks. That is your corporations. That's your airlines. That's all your bullshit. This is why you will hand over what is rightfully mine, because immediately all of that is cleared and then handed out to the collective. So there is no hurrying up right now and trying to make a new story. I see y'all flying planes all over the place. Y'all are flying planes all over the place, trying to hit a lane, like literally, Elaine and Elaine, or an Irene, or a Renee, or whatever the F balls y'all's doing. We pulled him 35. You can't even get NASA to go up there and fly space shuttles in order to hit a lane that is going to mess with us. And also, your maroon car that ran up into Denny's, that's because of the stupid fucking galactic niggers that are living over here in Cloneville that somebody's still paying to interact. And thinking that you're getting something out of it except a bunch of dead people, including the two that were cut from the line, an African-American galactic bitch woman and an African-American galactic bitch child that you had walking on the sidewalk yesterday at the merger after I just closed Saturn. Do you not realize what the hell you're doing? And why would you even try? I think that's it. I mean, I tell you what, I was calm today, and I'm calm. And that's the other thing. We are so damn powerful. I mean, oh my God, right now. I don't got to do nothing but move a pencil from one side of my bed to the other. I think everybody, you know, and if you're working ops and this is what you've been doing for the crown and you thought that we's just your insurance for your, and by the way, all y'all, Rothschild and whatever the F balls that family is fake as shit. The real ones were the ones that weren't named. You've been stealing our DNA for fucking thousands and millions of years, making your bullshit queens and kings. We have already solved your little puzzle, and it took us all the way back to the Queen of Judah. So, like, why are you even trying? This is a human race thing. This has nothing to do with Europe versus United States, black people versus white people. It ain't even got nothing to do with galactic people versus non-galactic people. It's those of you that were running ops thinking that you could come down here and take over the world and just take over the human race. And rumpy rump, like what the living fuck? Now you're out there telling everybody, just don't listen to Christ at all. Just don't even listen to that because it's end of days, blah, 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 propaganda. But yet you're the one that has Christ in your line because you stole it with Tesla codes. And that's how you got where you are. And now you have the nerve to get up there and not even own that. Like, I don't know what y'all are doing, but it don't make any sense. The divine timelines will hold. And I know that, you know, those of us that are connected, we get power-ups and none of us are all down at one time. If you ever notice and you've got a group of us and we're going through these waves, not all of us will be blue, not all of us will be down at the same time. Because there'll always be one that senses the power and is holding it while the others are going through it. And just tonight, that's what I felt. And I just wanted to come on and tell everybody what I'm feeling and what I'm seeing. Keep your faith. Do not bend. Do not bend. Do not bend. We have completed it. I mean, look at this. My veins are like, look, I'm even binding them up over here as I'm doing it. I'm so tapped in. I mean, my veins are, look at this. That's a brand new vein that is coming through my thumb. I mean, they're wrapping around my fingers. What's going on tonight with this last comet, well, it was a meteor that I saw hit, because it's like that one that hit the other day, but the green comet is supposed to come in on the 23rd, and I had to make a run yesterday to the green moon vape, so I am positive. I mean, plus this is the green goo. Like, my whole, my whole room is set up like a giant puzzle because we've been getting out of tombs, and I've been getting y'all out of tombs, and I'm having to move stuff around. I can't even walk on the floor because I'm your G core. Tomorrow I can leave my little area and go like 4 or 5 miles, well, actually probably about 6 or 7 miles. I'll be able to go to the store to get some stuff for my hair. But other than that, I've had to stay really isolated. They tried to, Martha, the B negative that I healed, that's she's my adopted mom, but now I know that she was even, in a weird way, my real mother, because her baby died and then they made me out of, and it's a long story, but Martha's the B negative that we did heal, because in order to get us out of this, I had to do full healings on Martha Ginsel and Al William Ginsel. Al William would have been their top military guy and their baby boomer military guy. Andy would have been connected with the Kings. We completely cleared him. And then Martha is the B negative. She's the one who has really bad diabetes, kidney disease, all these things. But I know that she's getting better. She was down for a few days, and today they tried to hospitalize her, and she refused. And it was just to give saline. And what's even crazier is that somebody asked me how my health was yesterday, and I said, I'm all right. My blood pressure is really low, like really low right now. And I'm watching it because I've got new connections to y'all, so I'm having to be really super conscientious. But I'm the one who needs the saline. I'm the one who needs the IVs. But yet Martha went to the doctor today, and then they were trying to put her in the hospital, which has been my story for the past 3 years, because they wrote me out of the Matrix. Now what they're having to do is write me back in as Princess Chastia BrigAEtriev Stewart, because that is what I proved. And it's opening up. So there's many ways that it could happen, not just that, but Putin's dead. Like, I don't know who that is, but I don't know. See, there's so many ways that it could end up panning out that we walk back in, because those of us who proved and did the spiritual healing, not just went on TikTok and told everybody that's who we are and have pictures, because that's what all the guys were doing. No, you prove by taking the bloodline and bringing them down. And I know for sure we brought down Elizabeth, because I'm the one who pulled the trigger from Hermosa, literally. And this hand, not as much, but it's my feet tonight. Almost like I landed, and it's my feet. And this is that Ginsel crater that's on the moon. So I know for sure we pulled out of Gibbs, because that 5 popped up right there, and that's that Cleo key. That's that Cleopatra key. So all of us are connecting back into your pure source DNA, no matter what your name is. So if your veins feel on fire, or you feel a little swollen, I will say that if you're going through this, like me, because my veins normally do not look like this at all. I'm the one that my whole life they could never get a vein, all right? Because I wasn't here, because I was an AB negative. So if you're like me and this is what's going on, I have been eating extra sodium, but not salt, like broth, soups, that that have a little bit more sodium in it than I normally intake, just because I think the reason that the ancestors are having me do it is so it'll cushion. Also, I'll suggest, if you don't have an unk, okay, just draw one. Just draw an unk. You don't have to have a physical one. Just draw an unk and put it by your bed with intention that you're coming through it, right? Those are some things that I would say is helpful. Also, I'm getting the message right now, even roses, putting rose, if you have even just flake flowers, if you have real ones, or if you just have a picture of a rose. And I don't know, I'm getting that message right this very second. It's probably because of what I've got set up over here, because I'm bringing all of y'all in. Why'd you delete all your messages? Just don't fuck with this. We don't use any type of magic that you'd know. There's no way that you can outplay us. There's no way you can outride us. At this point, your best bet is to jump on our boat. I also want to say, anybody that you know that is getting harassed, like, man, the story with Adam Walsh right now is hitting home like a motherfucker. And her name is Megan, and they just took her 5-day-old baby. Well, funny thing, I'm on Megan Drive, and they took my son too. So, and they tried to bury her alive. If you hear any stories or anything like that passes you, man, email me. Official Chastia BrigAEtriev. Y'all know the email. Somebody sent me some bullshit yesterday from Oklahoma. I appreciate that you think that I can't handle it or whatever the hell, but I also noticed it was written in white and black, and you were attempting to mind control and mind fuck me. And it didn't work. There is no way you can penetrate us. We know the dark better than anybody because we's trapped down there. Y'all have no idea how to alchemize your own bullshit. All you know how to do is throw it, and I suggest you stop.